So, welcome back, dear participants. After the break, uh, so the plan for this session is, first we'll be discussing Granger causality.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Have you shared your PPT, sir?
Ma'am?
Have you shared the PPT?
Okay, I have to share only my screen.
Yes, sir. Because
Yes.
we don't see anything here, that's why I'm asking, sir. Yes,
Okay.
now it is visible, sir. It is visible.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't have PPT. So anyhow, we will be having hands-on experience.
Okay, okay, sir. No problem, no problems.
Thank you. Mm, so the plan for this session is like first 10 to 15 minutes we'll discuss Granger causality test, then we'll discuss VAR and vector correction model, right? Vector autoregression and vector error correction models, and with the same data. So how to do those models and the interpretation that you can make out, those things we'll be discussing, right? Yeah. So as I mentioned already, like Granger causality test is used to study the short-run relationship between the variables, time series variables. So just like co-integration model, the basic requirement is a variable should be non-stationary at level and stationary at first difference. Okay, so here I'm going to show you how to calculate, how to use or how to make this Granger causality model, right? So first, so if I go without selecting the variable, say for example, if I say like click quick option, you get the group statistics. There at the bottom, you find this Granger causality test, right? Uh, so so here you have to type the variable if you have not selected the variable, right? So instead of typing it here, what I can do is I can select the variable. So control, click this, Sensex, New York, Nifty, Nasdaq. So go to quick, group statistics, then Granger causality. So the variables will appear here, right? So, okay. Yeah, so here you have to select, give the lag, right? Lag value. Thing is, and there is the other option available to find out the optimal lag length. Using VAR model, you can do that, right? I don't know whether that is being discussed or not, right? So you can find out optimum lag length. And if it is for 4 variables, then you have to do it better only in panel data analysis, right? So here I'm going with the 2 lag, right? Or you can change it to any lag variable, 3 or 4 or 5. And I told you now these the output what you receive is based on this lag value what you give, right? It's not only the variables, it is also the lag values that you take have impact on the result what you get. Okay, so this is what it is, right? Uh, so this is a simple process, right? If you go through the model steps involved, you will find it very uninteresting, right? You may feel that the process is very tedious, but when you use software and do that is a simple process. Even the PPT I had some five steps. If you see the models, equations, and all, you'll be scared. Right? So here you see you get the result like this, right? So here the null hypothesis is. So you can see the variables are taken, uh, uh, 2 variables are taken together, right? Two variables, right? That's why I mentioned that it is a bivariate model. The first part it analyzes. So here you see the outcome is a 0.3. So this is the result. So this here variables taken are Sensex and NYA. You can also do that, right? For example, now I remove this. Yeah, delete, yes. So I take Sensex and this one, say NASDAQ. So quick group statistics, granular causality, only two variables have taken, 2 lag, you get the result. Right. So this we also can do. You can take two variables, do it, right? So that's why I told you this model is a bivariate model, not a multivariate model. So here I have taken NASDAQ and the Sensex, and the null hypothesis is mentioned here. NASDAQ does not Granger cause Sensex. Null hypothesis is NASDAQ index does not Granger cause Sensex, and second null hypothesis. So the alternate hypothesis is NASDAQ Granger cause Sensex. So only null hypothesis is given here. If you see the general null hypothesis is X does not Granger cause Y. This variable X does not Granger cause. Session is அப்புறம் வாங்கல மதியம் okay, so sorry, the general null hypothesis here is variable X does not Granger cause Y. The alternate hypothesis is variable X Granger cause variable Y. So same way you apply here, NASDAQ does not Granger cause Sensex, null hypothesis. Alternate hypothesis is NASDAQ Granger cause Sensex. Okay, and how you make the decision is whether to accept or reject null hypothesis is, so if p value is less than 5%, reject null hypothesis, accept alternate hypothesis. So if this p value, probability value is less than 0.5 or 5%, right? 0.05, right? Less than 0.05 or 5%, reject null hypothesis. Okay, so here in both the case, so here if you just convert it, right? In both the case, the probability value is less than 5%, so reject null hypothesis, accept alternate hypothesis. That means NASDAQ Granger cause Sensex, in Sensex Granger cause NASDAQ. This we call it as bidirectional Granger causality. There are two aspects, unidirectional or bidirectional. Unidirectional, one way, right? Only NASDAQ will Granger cause Sensex. The other way may not exist. But here, given the data, so for the given data, there exists bidirectional Granger causality. Two-way it is, bidirectional it is two-way. Okay. So let me take all the variables and see whether there is any unidirectional Granger causality exists. So I am selecting all the variables. So Sensex, like New York, Nifty, and NASDAQ. I'm going for quick group statistics, Granger causality, two variables. Okay. So in the first case, New York index and the Sensex, that is bidirectional, right? Two-way. So, but Nifty, Sensex, there is no causal relationship. For the data that is taken, there is no causality between Nifty and Sensex. And between NASDAQ and Sensex, there is bidirectional. Nifty in New York, Nifty in New York, you see. So this one, the value is more than 5%. Right? The value is more than 5%. That is 5.38%. Probability is more than 5%. That is 5.38. So this is accepted. Nifty does not Granger cost New York. But the other way, the New York Stock Exchange Index Granger cost Nifty. That means if you track the movement of New York Stock Exchange, a Nifty index. If New York Stock Exchange is increasing, Nifty will also increase, and the other way. That is the interpretation that you can make it out. So there is only unidirectional, one way. New York Stock Exchange Index, Granger cost Nifty, not the other way. I hope you would have understood that, right? So that way you can make out the interpretation here using. So specifically, it is given here at the top. You can see it is pairwise Granger causality, right? Pairwise Granger causality test. So it is a bivariate model. Pairwise it is, but you have multivariables can be taken. But there is other thing available in panel data that will be discussed later, right? And observation the key you see depending on, and for the same you can also do this Granger causality at say 4 lakh. What happens at 4 lakh? You see, you take a Nifty and New York. You can see at 4 lakh there exists bidirectional Granger causality. At 2 lakh, only New York index Granger causing Nifty index. The other way is not there, but at 2 lakh you can see Nifty also Granger cause New York index, right? So that way you can see all these the outcome of the results are critical to the lag length that you have taken. Okay, so the outcome of the result is critical to the lag length. That is where you can even find out the optimum lag length, and other models are available, right? So this is what is about briefly about this Granger causality model, right? Then next we move on to VAR model. Okay, so any questions on that? Granger causality.
So their probability value seems 1.e, that is significant at 5%, right, sir?
Yeah, it is significant at 5%. If you put it in an Excel, you take 3 digits, it will all be 0.
Okay, that is 0. Okay.
Yeah, that means 60. 1.e 06. If you put it in Excel and convert it to 4 decimals or 3 decimals, it will be all 0.
Okay, sir.
Which is less than 5%.
Okay, thank you.
Right? Okay. So see here 4207 it all represents the number of zeros. Right. Yeah. Anything else, sir? Any questions? Okay. So we move on to the next model, that is VAR. Yeah. That is vector autoregression model. Vector autoregression model and vector error correction model is what I'm supposed. Yes, ma'am.
Just wanted to ask, whatever you did just now, can we use that same concept for finding out the relationship or co-integration between gold and silver or any other metals?
Any variable.
Okay.
What?
And now that lag will mean lag, sir, please tell me if my understanding of lag is correct, because I am a novice to finance. So lag will mean that whatever happened in gold, for example, before 3 days will happen after 3 days in silver. That is lag of 3. Is that correct, sir?
You are right.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
So one more thing, sir. May I, sir, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what basically the difference? How do you relate correlation and co-integration? What is the difference between it? Is it necessary a series having a high correlation will also exhibit co-integration?
Okay, so correlation you can do it for correlation or regression. There are conditions, and that you can do it only for data which is normally distributed. But these the time series data is not normally distributed, to which it is not appropriate to calculate regression or correlation. It's a different type of regression you have to work out. You should not calculate correlation. You should not do correlation for this one. It is different. That's where I told you in the beginning, for a data which is not normally distributed, a data which is non-stationary at level, if you apply certain methods like correlation or regression or any other statistical tool, it may give you misleading or incorrect results. So even
which means for these things we do not require normality.
Yeah. So the basic conditions you might have discussed in the beginning, you might have tested for normality, auto-regression or auto-correlation, then heterosity and all that. Heterogeneity and all that you might have discussed. Right. I think beginning introduction to econometrics or E-views that Saranya ma'am has been discussing about how to check normality and all that. I didn't get into that. Right. So these, so whatever the time series data what we are discussing is not normally distributed. These are all not normally distributed. So it is one-sided. If you plot it in a graph, you will know. I think already the madam was discussing about those things. So you need to refer those. Right. These data are not normally distributed. Right. So there will be trend and things like that. That's why we discussed now. The mean and variance are not constant. It is time varying. If you see non-stationary, these type of data, non-stationary data, the mean and variance of non-stationary data or time series data varies over a period of time. It is not fixed. Right? Sometimes there is trend, maybe growing trend or otherwise. Right? I hope I clarified. Okay, so next, selecting this data, you can we can go for var model, right? So there you find quick. At the bottom, you find that estimate var, vector auto regression model, right? Unrestricted. So if you click that, you can find all these. Okay. So before that, let me cancel this. Let me copy these variables. Okay. Quick.
So sorry, sir. Just one more question, sir.
Yes.
So when should we apply var and when should we apply VECM?
I'll come to that. I'll come.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So like error correction model, we'll discuss the second part. But like auto regression model, if you want to further now, for example, this co-integration. So first you are testing unit root. Second, you are doing this co-integration test to find out long-run association. Third, you are conducting this Granger causality to test short-run relationship. Further, you want to probe the data, right? You can use var model, right? And for vector error correction model, that is a different condition that we'll discuss after this. Okay. So now I have copied this variable, then estimate var. You'll get into this screen. You have all these options: unrestricted var, vector error correction, and all that. So I have the selected option is unrestricted var. You have to give this endogenous variables, right? Endogenous variables. You have to type it, but since I have copied, I am just pasting it. Endogenous variable, you have to type it here. So I'm just, that's the reason I copied, right? So if you click OK, you'll get this var model. So if you, what do you call vector auto regression estimates. Vector auto regression estimates is what you have. Now each column is different. For example, if you take this column, sensex. In this case, sensex is dependent variable. Then sensex lag1 is independent. Sensex lag2 is independent. Right? This New York lag1 is independent. New York lag2 is independent. Nifty lag1, Nifty lag2, Nasdaq 1, Nasdaq 2. These are all independent variable, and there is constant and other details you have. Right? So this 0.582395 is the coefficient, and what is given in this bracket is standard error, and the third one is the t statistics. T statistics is calculated by so this the first one divided
Excuse
by,
me, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So, excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Sir, what is the endogenous variable you have chosen? Because I get disconnected. What is the endogenous variable you have chosen?
I have taken all the variables.
Acha, acha.
You
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you take all the variables. You take all the variables
Okay, okay.
and execute the process. You will get this table. You type all the variables. You can copy paste, or you have to type all the variables. You will get this output. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
in this case, sensex is depend. So in
Okay,
this
sir.
column,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, yes, sir. Thank you. So sensex is dependent and all other are independent. If you take next column, New York index is dependent and all other are independent. Same way Nifty and Nasdaq. So the variable whatever you give is each one is taken as a dependent variable, and all other independent variables are generated based on the lag. Right? So here I left it with 2 lag. Say for example I can also change.
What?
Yes, sir.
So you have running the war model at the level series. Should we run the war model on the level series, or should we run the return series? Because these are all the level series.
Okay.
Because should we take Sensex return or Nifty return, Nasdaq return, or you are doing the absolute values of these things?
I'm doing it at the level variable. I'm doing it at the level variable. But whatever you find here, yeah.
Because if you're doing at the level, because Nasdaq level, or for example Nifty and Sensex, Nifty is near about 14,000 to 12,000, Sensex is for 35,000, and those levels will that not make difference?
Yeah, that is where I told you. Yeah, so there will be some difference. That is where I told you I have gone through studies. Some of them they calculate the return and do it. Some of them use the log value of the indexes and do it. Some of them do it as it is, as such. So there are different approaches which we can do. I have seen research papers all this area, right? So you have to see which is so if you're doing it on say gold or GDP or any other commodity and other variables, then you have to see the literature and arrive at. Okay, definitely. When you take the variables, there will be some impact. Right. So here I'm trying to estimate where So where I have given endogenous variable, all the variables. So if I change the lag to 4 or 3 or 4, you see what impact it has, right? So this software automatically takes 4 lag, right? So previously you might have seen there was only 2 lag. Now you see 4 lag. When Sensex is a dependent variable, these are all independent variables. You see, each variable you have 4 lag. Each variable you have 4 lag, right? So, this is the VAR model. You can further probe this. Say I'll tell you how. So you can make out the equation here. Sorry. So go to this proc make system order by variable. If you go to this option, you'll get this equation, right? Where you have Sensex as a dependent variable. In Sensex lag 1 is independent, Sensex lag 2, Sensex lag 3, it goes on like, right? And C1, C2, C3 are coefficient of those lag variables. Okay, so to make it simple, so here I have a lot of variables. So to make it simple, what I'm doing is I'm just changing this to 2 lag. 2 lag. This is the VAR model you get. Okay, so then I'm going for this make system order by variable. You get this equation. Now to simplify. Okay, if you take 4 lag, it is complex, right? Okay, so here you can see Sensex is dependent, and Sensex lag 1, Sensex lag 2, New York lag 1, 2, 3, like that. These are all independent variables, and the C1, C2, C3 are dependent variables. Sorry, coefficients. C1, C2 are coefficients, right? Now I can get those coefficients and get it tested. How to get that as, for example, estimate. Yeah. If you go to estimate ordinary least square, you'll get these coefficients, right? Coefficient of all those independent variable. So here you can see what are the coefficients that are statistically significant. So if the probability is less than 5% in this column, the probability is less than 5%, you can say that particular coefficient is statistically significant. So in those equations we saw, like there are a number of coefficients, each equation, right? So here C1 is, so here probability of C1, if you take this particular case, first one, probability is 0.0023, which is less than 5%. So this is the coefficient C1 is statistically significant. Same way C2 is also statistically significant. C3, C4, but C5 is not statistically significant because probability is more than 5%. Same way C6 is not statistically significant, probability is more than 5%. So that way you can check the statistical significance, right? So one minute, I'll just show you the other one. So here I have taken two. Okay, I made this. What do you call this equation? Yes. So if you see the first equation, Sensex is dependent and all other variables are independent. Okay, so there are C9 coefficients. C9 is the constant coefficient of the constant, so it is the constant, right? Whereas C8 are constant, right? Then when I make an estimate, you get this. So here up to now C9 is constant up to C8, you can see how many significant, so how many coefficients are significant. For example, if I take the first 4 coefficients are significant, then you can make further analysis. That is, not estimate, view. You can further probe. You can coefficient diagnostic can be done using Wald coefficient test. So here I have to give the null hypothesis. It is nothing but C1 is equal to C2 is equal to C3 is equal to C4 is equal to 0. This is the null hypothesis I am giving here. See, I have taken only the 4 variables. Right? I have taken only the 4 variables. So this is a null hypothesis I am making. Okay, you will get the result. So null hypothesis states these variables are equal to 0. So these coefficients are equal to 0. That is the null hypothesis. That is coefficient C1, C2, C3, C4 are equal to 0. That is the null hypothesis. This Wald test, chi-square is prepared. This probability is less than 5%. So this null hypothesis is rejected. That means these coefficients are statistically significant. In that equation, in that Baer model, these coefficients are statistically significant. That is what is the interpretation. You can make it out. So what we have done is, so the first step. So first step, what we have done here is, here using this lag this 2, you have made this bar model, vector autoregression model, and here you can find this. This is coefficient, this is standard error, this is t statistics of all these independent variables, and you can find this. Okay. So further you can make out the equation and test whether the coefficients are statistically significant. Okay. So the equation is written like this. Sorry, I have to go here. Yeah, quick. No, proc. So you get confused over here. So proc. Okay. Yeah, proc. Make system order by variable. Yes, you get this equation. So the last equation, if you see, Nasdaq is a dependent variable and all other variables are independent. These are all lag taken automatically. Like previously, ma'am was asking a question: what does lag mean? That is what is lag, right? Right? That means if I say to lag, say today's share price, we say to lag, today's share price of Infosys is influenced by day before yesterday's share price. We say 2 lag. If you say 1 lag, today's share price is influenced by previous day's share price. Now that is the problem with all these time series data, right? Time series data, if you take the variable in itself, is responsible for its future value, right? It is not dependent on other factors, right? There are other factors like demand, supply, and other variables, other aspects. We are not considering that. So any model that you use, you have your own assumptions, or the assumptions are stated, right? If I'm using a co-integration model, the assumptions are stated, right? If I'm using a VAR model, the assumptions are given, right? Same way, if I'm even using a regression, simple regression, right? There are assumptions, right? Only the stated assumptions, it was good, right? So this is what is VAR model. This equation you can make out, and further if you want to test the significance, whether the coefficients are statistically significant, that also you can probe and do like this. There are a lot of options available, right? So this is about VAR model, right? So first we discussed about unit root, co-integration, granular causality. This is where, so after co-integration and after granular causality, further if you want to probe the data, and these things can be done, or other models like ARCH, GARCH. If you want to go for forecasting and things like that, or autoregressive distributed lag model and all that, depending on the condition that you have to apply, right? So before moving on to the next model, that is vector error correction model, any questions?
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
sir, these equations came like magic. Now these are the regression equations which we can use in our research paper also.
Yes, yes. When you apply VAR
We need
model,
not actually, when we did through SPSS or something, any other research, we used to find out all the coefficients and write. Here they are self-generated. That is right, no, sir?
yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Excellent,
But
sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I want to clarify one thing, ma'am. But here you cannot use, in these econometric models, you cannot use a non-stationary data. So that you have to be careful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You cannot use a non-stationary data. If a data is stationary, it is not appropriate to use just blindly, right? You have to satisfy the condition, right? Coefficients and all that you get. Now that is where I told you, if you give the lag, the system, the software is programmed in such a way that it generates automatically. Even if you even if you give 50 lags, it will operate. Right. And beyond that certain thing, it will limit. We'll say data is not adequate or thing like that. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, may I have one question, please?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sir, as you very nicely showed that we get the equations generated from this. Now, my question is, if we already have an equation, and suppose that particular equation is not giving the 100% or maybe a good accurate model, and if we want to change some of the coefficient values or maybe even sometimes the variables, so can that be done through this modeling?
Yeah, so here I have taken 4 variables. Now, if you want to leave Nifty, you can leave Nifty and do it for remaining 3.
Okay, so that this can be done. Like if I'm talking about, suppose, let me give you an example. Like suppose Altman Z-score model for bankruptcy prediction, right? Suppose one model is there. Now I want to check that model for the accuracy level, suppose for the Indian context. Now, can I change the coefficients of the existing model to increase the accuracy level? Is it possible, sir? For this model?
No, if you are applying a model, now this model, if you give the variable, but say if you take Altman score model like for banks, you have different ratios, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Ratios and all that, but you have to see the ratios what you have over a period of time. Is it satisfies this condition? No, the variable should be non-stationary at level.
Okay, right.
That first you have to check.
Okay, so first we have to check for all the conditions of this stationarity and everything and normality, and then we can go with this, right?
Yeah. So normally ratios will not work out this way. No, that is not a time series data, no.
Yeah, right. It is not a time series data.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. I haven't tried, but it is not. I think it is not a time series data.
Yeah, it is not, sir. It is not. Yeah.
So that means you cannot apply all this. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sir, I just wanted to recheck. I think I have missed out about the wall test in which you have checked the coefficient significance, and only you have taken 4 coefficient and checked the significance. If I am not wrong.
Yeah.
So, in what? So why it is so only 4?
Okay. You're right. Why only 4? So that particular equation. So if I take this first equation, there are 9 variables. Sorry, 8 coefficients.
Coefficient and one constant.
Yeah, 8 coefficients and 1 constant. And I could see only these 4. No, at the top, only these 4 coefficients are statistically significant. That means probability value is less than 5%. And there are,
True.
I think, just to show you how to run the coefficient diagnostic test, I showed you. There I have taken only 4. You can also take remaining things, which are now where the probability is less than 5%. Those variables you can take and test it. As an example, I think I missed out to mention that. As an example, I showed you only those 4 coefficients. Now, other things you can try it out. Yeah, you can do that. As an example, I selected only 4. You can also try other things.
Perfect, sir.
Right.
Perfect. Sir, somewhere I read that C1 is a long run coefficient and C2 onwards are short run coefficient. Is it correct? I just wanted to correct myself.
That is for error correction model. You are right. What you say is right. So what you say is right. That is for error correction model, not for VAR model.
All right, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much.
The next page. Vector error correction model that we'll discuss. Yeah.
Yes.
You are right, sir. You are right. Okay. So let me move on to the error correction model. So I'm just deleting all this. This one. Yeah. So there are some conditions to run error correction model. So condition number 1 is, as we already discussed, this, the time series data should be non-stationary at level and stationary at first difference. Right? The time series data that you are taking for analysis should be non-stationary at level and stationary at first difference. So whatever the variable that you are considering. So here I have 4 variables we discussed already. Unit root test, all the 4 variables are stationary at first difference. So this condition is satisfied. Second, variables, all the variables should be co-integrated. Only if all the variables are co-integrated, then you can go for vector error correction model, VECM, right? Otherwise, you need to go for some other model. Sometimes you may have one variable having stationary at first difference, other variable having stationary at second difference. So those type of data, if you have it, you have to go for other models. One is this autoregressive distributed lag model, ARDL, what you may be discussing in the afternoon, right? Or other something else. You have to check the suitability of the model, right? When you want to proceed with the vector error correction model, you have to satisfy these 2 conditions. 1, the time series variable should be non-stationary at level and stationary at first difference. Second condition, these variables should be co-integrated. Only then you can perform vector error correction model. Okay, so these 4 variables what we have been discussing, they all satisfy the condition. We have already tested the unit root. We have already tested the co-integration. Okay, so we can do vector error correction model for these variables. Sense X, New York, Nifty, and Nasdaq, right? Then select those variables. Even if you want, you can copy. Quick estimate where it is a part of that, it is vector model. So here you have vector error correction, right? So these are all the variables. Okay, endogenous variables and lag intervals 2. And to change lag intervals, there are different approaches, right? There are different approaches, and if you further after going through this model, if you further explore about these models, then you will get to know, right? Okay, now you get this result. So the first part, what you get is the co-integrating okay, one thing I missed out. So quick war model, vector error correction, then these variables. And here, so after doing this, after selecting vector error correction, giving endogenous variable, to see this co-integration, you have to give this number of co-integrating equation at this option, right? So there at the time of calculating using this co-integration model, we had all these 5 options: no trend data, linear trend, quadratic trend data. Okay, so that case, the person was asking about why should I go for this? There again, you have to probe whether the data what you have is there any trend? Is there any trend existing that you have? There may be some models that you have to do. Linear trend, you have to test whether there is linear trend. There is no linear trend, or there is quadratic trend. Then you have to justify that, right? So one participant was asking about that in the previous session. So why should I? My reviewer asked me, why should this model? Okay. So in that case, you have to further, get to know about other models, and you have to further get to know about how to find whether the data there is linear trend in data, or there is no linear trend or quadratic trend. Then you have to select the appropriate model and do it, right? Okay. So here you have to give number of co-integrating vectors of 1 is what is that we already discussed. This model is what we have done, and if you have done some other model, then you have to specify the model, select that model and give that, right? So this is the same result you will get, because it's all inbuilt, right? I did not change the vector, right? So the first part shows you the first part gives you the co-integrating vector equation, right? This first part represents the co-integrating equation. Second part, you have this error correction equation, right? So that is D1 means lag 1. That is difference in Sensex is one variable. This is dependent variable, and these are all independent variable as we discussed, right? And here the sir was mentioning this part is for long run relationship. The sir was asking the previous model, that model, the first part, this co-integrate. So co-integration is where we analyze and study the long run association of variable. So this part, what I have highlighted, able to just highlight what is highlighted is visible. So that particular part is for long run relationship. This co-integration equation, the coefficient what you have, right? The coefficient, that is 0.015338 in this first case, second case, third case. This coefficient and the details what you have is for long run relationship, whereas the remaining is for short run, right? So these are all independent variable. So difference with Sensex, lag 1, difference with Sensex, lag 2, lag 3, like that, right? So whereas this is dependent and independent. So just like before, make equation, that is proc, make system, order by variable, you get this equation. So in this case, as I was mentioning, this part, 1 minute. So this part, yeah, this part, yeah, 1 minute. C1, yeah. So up to this, it is for long run relationship. So the C1 is the coefficient. So I think you are able to see the highlighted detail. So in that, C1 is the coefficient, and this model what you have is co-integrated model that you can find in all the equation, right? In all the equation you find that, right? So this highlighted model is the C1 is the coefficient of this model for co-integrating relationship. Okay, now that is where I mentioned that this highlighted thing is for long run relationship, and the remaining is for short run relationship, and C10 is the constant, coefficient of the constant, right? So that way you can make it out. The same way here, if you say New York or difference New York variable, here you can see this is the long run relationship equation, where C11 is the coefficient, then it continues, right? So this is how you can make out the equation, and this number of lag according to the lag variable that you give, right? So here again, you can get the estimate. Similar to VAR, you can also get the estimated ln least square. You get the coefficients, right? You get the coefficients. So here you see coefficient 1, 2, 4, 5, then 7. These are all significant because the probability is less than 5%. The probability is less than 5%. I think the first equation was having 9 coefficients, right? 9 coefficients. The first equation, if you see coefficient 8, then coefficient 7, coefficient 5, 4, then 2, 1 are significant. Then you can go for Wald test. That is residual diagnostic test. You see there are 40 coefficients in this equation, and these are all what is it, like complex models that you can make, right? Maybe if you are a beginner, it is difficult to understand and work on all this. Okay. So further, we'll see how to make coefficient diagnostic, whether the coefficient is statistically significant. Okay, that you can test using this Wald coefficient test. I think this is what we already done, right? Is it same or I'm getting it? So 1 minute. I'll just close it and come back. I'm just opening this file. Okay, so how to do? I'll just show you once again, right? Sensex, New York, Nifty, Nasdaq, quick where this one vector error correction. These are all the variable. Okay, this is not selected. So control C. Quick where vector error correction. Control V. Why it is not working? Cancel. This, right? Quick where okay, I don't know why. So sensex. Okay, from here we can select. Then Nifty. Select. Then space New York. Space NES DAC. That's DAC. So 2 and co-integrating number of vectors. Okay, you're getting this. Then I think we already discussed this. Then estimate. Sorry. Make system order by variable. We made this. Then we got this variable here. Sorry. Estimate. You made this. All this. Then further. So the coefficient diagnostic test, what coefficient diagnostic test. So sorry, here I can give this. C1 is equal to C2 is equal to, likewise you can select all the coefficients. So C next to C5. C5 is equal to then C6, 7, C7 equal to C8. What about C9? It's not statistic, is equal to 0. That you can test. Yeah, so chi-square probability value is less than 0.5. Okay, so chi-square probability value is less than 0.5. This null hypothesis is rejected. That means all these coefficients are not equal to 0. Right? So the null hypothesis is all these coefficients are equal to 0. So when this null hypothesis is rejected, so these coefficients are not equal to 0. That means the coefficient values are statistically significant. That's the diagnostic thing what you can do, right? So this is what is about no, the vector error correction model. Vector error correction model. So the basic condition to apply this model is the time series data, whatever you have taken for analysis, should be stationary at first difference, be non-stationary at level, and stationary at first difference. And second condition is the variable should be co-integrated. Now that's where the model, vector error correction model, it asks for number of co-integrating equation, right? So that you have to specify. So that way you can do this vector error correction model and say what are the coefficients that are significant, and the long run model, short run model, and all that you can make it out. Right. So if, maybe if you are a beginner, these are all things you find it difficult to go through and understand, right? So you need to practice, use some data and do some papers, then you will get to know about it, right? Again, this lag length, for example, there is optimum lag length selection model. I'll show you how to do that. Right? That is beyond this model. Say, so delete this. Example, I am taking two variables, Sensex and Nasdaq, right? Then quick var model, go to var, give Sensex, Nasdaq, okay, you get this equation. Then you go to this view, you can study the lag structure using this lag criterion. It automatically takes 8 lag as inbuilt. Okay, need to close this. Yes. Copy. Quick var. Okay. Right. View lag structure, lag length criterion, 8 lag. Then I have to close and come back. Right. I'm selecting these two variables, just showing how to find optimum lag length. Okay. View lag structure, lag length criterion. Okay. Right. You get this? Right. So to determine optimum lag length, these are all the models available. You can see the explanation here. LR stands for sequentially modified LR test statistics at 5% level. Then final prediction error, FPE, Akaike information criterion, Screwbus information criterion, and HQ, Hanan-Quinn information criterion. Normally, people go for this AIC or SC, right? So you can go with one information criterion, and this star gives you this the lag length, optimum lag length. For these two variables, Akaike information criterion shows that this is the lag length, whereas Screwbus information criterion says that optimum lag length is 3, right? So a model like a model will be good. You say otherwise, like 1 minute. I'll just tell you. The model is said to be good when so yeah. The other way, lower the Akaike information criteria, better the model is. Right? Lower the Akaike information criteria, better the model is. Right? Same thing you can see if you take increase the lag, you will get to know, right? Say, for example, this lag structure, lag criteria. Say I take this, I make change here. Say I change it to 16. I've done it randomly, right? You can give any number. You can just try it out. Right? Say I'm giving 25. Right? It generates automatically. So here, if you take Akaike information criteria, AIC, you see the lag length is low, that is 14 is the lag length, where the Akaike information criteria is low. Lower the Akaike, so I gave you a standard rule stating that lower the Akaike information criteria, better the model. Lower the Akaike information criteria, better the model. You see, Now, why I gave 25 lakh is just to show you. So after some time, you see Akaike information criteria starts increasing. So till this point, right? Till the lag is 14, Akaike information criteria was decreasing. Then later on it starts increasing. So this when lag length is 14, it gives you a better model, right? Whereas this
Excuse
SC,
me,
yes sir.
sir. I think, I mean, obviously AIC are suggesting 14 lag lengths, but what about the practicalities of these results? I think because
Yeah,
14 days before prices has a influence on the current price, so I don't think so any practical relevance of taking 14 as a lag length. What is your opinion in it?
You are right, sir. You are right. See, with the data and things like that, you make out a lot of models and you do a lot of analysis. So, what is the practicality? As you rightly mentioned, what is the practicality? Like if you say 14 lag length, it's irrelevant, right? Maybe to write a paper, you may quote all that and write a coefficient and this, that, this influence that. But practically, you see what determines the stock index. So what happens at today morning 9 o'clock that determines the yeah. We are having all those models and these are all developed and these models you have. Well, the stock market is influenced. So say today morning the market opens by so since because I am using this index values and saying I'm taking the case of stock market. Today morning the market is opening. Now this market is sensitive to what happens at today morning 9 o'clock. There is a news. What is what is going on in US, right? And even media has reported that Trump is just now trying something like a coup in US, right? Take over the government and something like that is what the media is projecting. So what happens at that moment influences the market. Okay, so that is out of context I'm stating, right? So what you mentioned is right. 14 lag length is irrelevant, right? Maybe 2, 3. Okay. So, but there are people do a lot of analysis and model and things like that, and they have to give us better. So they may be in a better position to answer our questions, right? So we are all just using these tools and referring a lot of materials and doing it. But there are some econometrics professionals, and so they may be able to answer our questions in a better way. Okay. So just I mentioned.
Can I ask you one?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Sir, in VCM, in exogenous variable, we have not added anything. I just wanted to clarify. I mean, my doubt is, can we add some dummy variables into it and check the models as an exogenous variables?
Yeah, that can also be done. You can add some dummy variable, a constant or something like, right? So that is also possible.
Right, sir.
Yeah. And
right.
So since I mentioned, yes, sir.
Yeah, so it is better not to add in the main endogenous variables, but to be in exogenous variables, right, sir?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
So,
okay, thank you.
Yeah. So since I mentioned about selection of optimum lag length, just I showed you how to fix up the optimum lag length. This is what is the standard. That is what I received. No, lower the Akaike information criteria, better the model is what is being mentioned. You can go with any of this, right? And even when I was doing my research for PhD purpose, and I did a lot of things, and automatically you have, so whenever you do a paper, then you have to fix it with one thing based on the literature what you have to go with that, right? And if you get into all this, then you'll get confused. That is what my opinion is. Okay. So any questions? So this is what is the model, and discussed all this, and any questions on that? So I have given you the data. You can just go through and try that, and I think the organizers will also share you the video of the session just being recorded, and will be sent to you, and can use that to get to know about. And there are a lot of other things that you need to, right, over a period you have to refer and understand. That will help you in research. So what I have given you is a brief introduction to all these models. Right? That is what I feel. Okay, any questions?
The last thing, can I ask you one?
Yeah.
Sir, in VCM, it is about the speed of adjustments, right? So,
Yeah.
how about the interpretation part? I mean, the last portion, I mean, in the output, interpretation of that coefficient, I mean, of that VCM model, I mean, the last, yeah.
Vector error correction model. The interpretation model that you can make it is whether the coefficients are statistically significant or not. Right? That is what you can state. Right? You can give a model, an equation, right? Yeah. You can.
Yes, sir. If it is statistically significant. Yeah. Just to clarify, sir. Sir, if it. Just to clarify, if it is a statistically significant, can we say that that variable has a short-run relationship with the dependent variable which we are measuring?
You are right. You are right. You are right. The variables that have statistically significant coefficients, they have short-run relationship that is effective. Right, that is effective. And again, you have taken 3-4 variables together. You can take it otherwise, some 2-3. You can minimize that. You have to do some trial and error kind of a thing and see which variable is more significant in giving or in predicting the short-run relationship and all that.
Right, sir. The beta the coefficient will be faster the I think relationship, I guess.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
And C1 should be statistically significant and should be negative. Somewhere I read that. I mean, is it correct? It should be negative and statistically significant. C1, the long run coefficient.
Okay. Yeah, it should be negative. Okay, I don't know much idea on that. I just even I have come across that point you have been mentioning. It should be negative and statistically significant. That's right. But I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure about it. You have to refer further material and get to know about.
Okay, excuse me, sir. Sir, may I ask one question?
Yes, sir. Yes, Rajesh.
Sir, I have little confusion, sir. Sir, I have 4 series at the level and first order difference of the same series also. So total I have 8 series now.
Yes.
So to conduct this co-integration VAR and VACM, can I consider first order series?
First order series.
First order difference series, yes, sir. Which are stationary.
Okay. But even if you take the index return, if you calculate index return, you will get a different result. That's what I mentioned.
No, sir. I have not calculated return directly on the first order difference series. I am doing this. So already I have not calculated return.
Okay. That you have to work out and check it. I didn't do that. You have to work out and check it and how the model gets developed and the significance and all that. You have to see.
Here I think here we have considered directly the non-stationary series, all the 4 non-stationary series.
Yes.
May I add something?
Yes, sir.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I think this VCM model takes the first difference series on its own. Okay.
Yes.
If the series series becomes stationary at the first difference, you need to select the level data when you perform a VECM model.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. But is it only for VECM, for VAR and co-integration also?
Yeah.
I think only for
VECM
vector
only, because if you have checked the output, the VECM model got the output
Yes.
of a difference series itself. I mean, difference of sunset,
Yes,
difference
sir.
of
Yes, sir.
NY.
It is there.
So
It is
it
there.
takes automatically the first difference itself.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
are right.
for at the
Right,
level
sir.
and remaining to VAR, we can go for the first order series also.
Yes, sir.
No,
So far as I
not,
know, huh, sir?
I'm not sure about it.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay. I think Sir has answered your question, right? As far as vector error correction model is concerned, I think he has answered your question, right?
Yes, sir. In VECM, it directly comes up with the first order difference.
Yes,
So
yes,
it is
yes.
there.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. But sir, again the confusion. So shall I take the raw data or the stationary first order difference series? No matter in VECM, it will difference it again.
Yeah, it difference it again, but so you have to see the literature now. If anybody have done that and what was it they stated and things like that, you have to check it out.
Okay. 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 Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, any more questions? So, I think Sudhamati ma'am, you are there online. Saranya ma'am, is there online? Yeah.